Hey everyone, happy Friday to you. I trust that you're all well and managing to emerge from our enforced hibernation. Today I want to share some thoughts on weakness. Our society doesn't like weakness very much, does it? It's really frowned upon. Yet we all have them. Weaknesses, weak places. Those places inside us that make us wonder if we'll ever get it together, like the together people. They're places that make us feel less than capable, less than a conqueror, less than strong. Now, my weak places, they really frustrate me. And yet I refuse to believe that they can't ever be changed or overcome. With the power of Christ, all things can be made new and all broken things can be restored. But sometimes I get so tired of feeling weak. For me, weak places are like the plug in your bathtub. Your whole world can feel warm, full, and clean until that little plug is pulled. And suddenly the warmth and comfort is sucked away, leaving you shivering in a cold, hard, residue-filled space. That's how it makes me feel inside. Cold and hard, residue-filled. So what is your weak place? A temper that flares? An insecurity that stings? A family problem that is always brewing? An addiction that you just can't overcome? A skill that you've tried to multiple times to master? Well, may I breathe a little life into your weakness today? Whatever it is, however large it may loom, know that the Spirit helps us in our weakness. We do not know what we ought to pray for, but the Spirit Himself intercedes for us with groans that words cannot express. That's from Romans chapter 8, verse 26. Well, we don't have all the answers. We don't have to make suggestions to God. It's okay to be tired of our weak places that we run out of words to pray. And listen to some other encouraging verses from Romans 8. They address weak places, and I'm sure they're familiar to you. Verse 1 says, "There is no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus." And verse 9 says, "You, however, are not controlled by the sinful nature, but by the Spirit." And verse 31, "If God is for us, who can be against us?" And verse 37, "In all these things we are more than conquerors through Him who loved us." So maybe we need to sit still for just a moment or two today. Quiet, without the weight of condemnation or the swirl of trying to figure things out. Quiet, with nothing but the absolute assurance that the Spirit helps us in our weakness. He knows what to pray. He understands our weak places. But there is purpose to this weak place. Though it doesn't feel good, verse 28 reassures us that we can trust that good will come from. In that quiet stillness, while the Spirit prays for us, and we just simply soak in the truth, there will be a flicker of light, a slight trickle of hope, a grace so unimaginable. We'll feel His power overshadowing our weakness. Even the smallest drop of God's strength is more than enough to cover our frailties or our shortcomings, the places where we deem ourselves to be weak. And then we can reject that label. We aren't weak. We are dependent. Dependent on the only one powerful enough to help us. The only one sufficient enough to cover us in grace throughout the whole process of growing stronger. Our relationships may not be sufficient. Our circumstances may not be sufficient. Our willpower may not be sufficient. Our confidence may not be sufficient. But God is sufficient and forever will be. So instead of wallowing in your weak place, resolve to let the Spirit reveal the one positive step you can take today. Wash away the condemnation with the warmth of His grace. You will receive His power, and you can rename the weakness your strong place. For as Paul declared, "For when I am weak, then I am strong." That's it for today. Enjoy your freedom and your weekend.